Alright, so I've been blessed to have been able to learn how to sail. So today I'm actually gonna try to teach you guys a little bit about sailing. I'll start out with some of the basics. And yeah, so for this one, right off the bat, the wind's pretty good today. Taking out the 18. I don't really like the 18 compared to the 22 foot because the 18 has like a fat belly, so it doesn't cruise as fast as the 22. The 22 is more stable also. The 18 wants to round out anytime you get it on its heel. So I'll try to show you that when I get a chance. But yeah, right now I'm just waiting for the 18 to come back because they don't know how to navigate the parking, which that's why with sailing, you really gotta test yourself at different locations because every dock is different. I'll try to show you this one, for example. This dock, that's where the boat's gonna get parked. That's the incoming boat there. You really gotta understand how the wind gets bounced off the structures over there, and really what direction you're gonna get hit. Because I can tell that from this angle west, the wind's coming pretty good. You can tell by the surface how the wind is moving the surface of the water. So that's why we're just waiting on the 18 to come in. A little bit about the 14s here. The 14 foot, they're fun because you can feel all the wind. It's super sensitive. It gets on its heel pretty quickly. And it's small enough that you can do a single person, because if you take a look at that blue thing rolled up right there, that's your jib. Your jib is basically your top speed sail. So if you go solo, a 14 is actually, obviously ideal because you have enough space within your reach to manage both the mainsail and that jib. The only thing is you get thrown around a lot, so that one I can't really take it out because I don't want to risk, just getting tossed in the water or the foam going in. But yeah, and in the meantime, we wait. But this is a good time when you should take a look at the wind, like indicators, and see where it's coming from and how strong. You can take a look at that. Obviously, the sailboats, you're gonna park them into the wind so that the wind, if it picks up throughout the day or whatever, changes conditions, you're not going to be, stressing the equipment on that sailboat. But just by looking how the sails are fluttering, there's tension, right? It's definitely like fumbling. So you just got to adapt. I'm assuming that leaving here, you're going to have, the wind is going to, no, I should be able to power out of here because the wind's going to be, it's going to be to my back. So anytime the wind's to your back, you're going to go really slow. But that's okay because I'm actually going to change direction once I leave so that I can cut into the wind at like 90 degrees. And then I should have pretty much all the wind I need from these conditions. But yeah, I'm going to change the camera angle so you guys can see a little bit of perspective. I just wanted to share a little bit about sailing because, a lot of people think it's out of reach, but it's not. You just got to, be responsible and really understand what the boat can do and where you are with it. And anticipate that the wind's going to change. It never stays the same. So, I'm going to record some of this boat coming in because they don't know what they're doing. And the thing is, people get impatient, right? They don't know how to set course and stick to it. Because if I was them, I would head north right now, a good distance, and then I would drive, which means I would turn downwind about, basically, if I was going north, the end direction would be that I'd end up southwest from that initial north position. And that southwest should let you capture as much wind at a casual, but not too aggressively where you're going to be hauling ass in. So yeah, that's what I would do. I'd basically head up north a good, half quarter mile or whatever, 100, 200 yards, and then turn and then ride it southwest back in. And that should give you enough space and time to make a good decision and any adjustment that you need. But if you go turn by turn by turn by turn, you're not advancing and you're just going to fight the wind. You're going to stay in the same spot. But yeah, that's a little bit about that. That's first take. Dissect that and then get back to me. Let me know if you guys have any questions about that initial stuff. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm just talking to one of the dock hands, and he's just reminding me basically how the solid directions that you should take, because every dock's different. But in this case, basically, I guess he's saying you could kind of swing out towards the yachts around that direction, and then you're gonna basically hook, I don't know, take like a long left and then turn into the wind right here when you get close to the dock, so you can kind of just coast at the end and depower the boat basically. But that's the thing, like unless you get out there and just test yourself or talk to people and get some of that like local knowledge of how things, you know, what to expect typically, that stuff goes a long way compared to just reading the textbook and thinking that you're gonna go, I don't know, calculate it on your own. Just listen to people and watch what they're doing, because this place doesn't really change, so the wind will kind of repeat itself in different ways, which then you can start getting comfortable and more confident with over time. So let's see here. That boat that you guys see out there, that's a 22-foot.
No, he's back in irons.
He's back in irons because you can see that front sail, it started fluttering, right? But if you look at it now, it's got tension, so he adjusted. So the 22 is in good position, right? If you look at those sails are solid. They're holding tension and they're nicely trimmed. And then if we look at this 18 here, this 18's turning. Watch how the sails will change, like their shape, because he's changing the wind direction. So he's got tension, and then the wind's to his back, and he's gonna start fluttering like probably soon. See, there's the flutter, right? Because he lost tension, because he put himself in a weak direction against the wind. Now let's look at the 22 real quick. 22 has made a turn, and if you look at the front sails, they just filled nicely. So he just hit a sweet spot. He just hit a sweet spot, and he's trimming them, and his angle's nice. Like, that's solid, right? He's carrying speed, moving in whatever direction he wants, and then he's probably gonna position himself to make that like last parking, those last final turns, if he needs to, or if he even wants to. That 18 is struggling though. They can't get out of that space because they're too impatient. They need to hold course for like 100, 200 yards so that they get out of that space in better wind condition or better wind zone. But that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe he's a textbook sailor or something, because if he could just listen to the wind, he'd know how to get out of there by now. Alright, so check this out. You always want to have number one, scope see where people are, because you have paddle boarders over here, a kayaker, swimmer, a Duffy, a boat here, 2 paddle boarders. So always don't let the sail get in your way. Keep your eye on that. So on that right line, your jib, that front sail is controlled with that line on your port side, that line on your starboard. You can tell the starboard's already taut, right? So it's locked right there. As long as I keep this positioning, that front sail is gonna stay tight. If I undo that lock, then the sail has enough, range for you to adjust if you need. But right now you can tell I have the rope totally slacked and it's still not doing anything, because we have light winds in this position. Because we have a lady and kid here, I have to focus. So I'm gonna get tension back in the line, make sure I have adequate speed so I can actually have control if I need it. We're fine obviously, but if for whatever reason it changed, you need to have wind so you can make any adjustment. There's no motor on this thing. This is a 14. The 18 didn't come back because they took forever. They still haven't figured it out. And that's the thing with sailing. Like right now, dude, like, what's that? That's 18 over there. They're fluttering. I'm chilling. And it's because the way this hotel and these structures block the wind. Once I get about like 20 yards out, more towards the ocean, more towards the middle of the bay, 50 yards even, I'll start catching more gusts. I can feel it now. You see the boat rocking a little bit because this is that zone where it starts catching. But we got a boat up here on the right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just change my course a little bit, slow down, and safety first. No need to do anything crazy. You can see the wind kite surfer over there. So these guys made a little bit of a wake, no biggie. I'm just gonna try to hold a course where I can catch some wind and then just kind of power through this wake. Typically you always want to go head on, but because I'm trying to gain some speed here, I'm trying to get the boat going a little bit. Up ahead we got a 14 and Duffy's still on our right. That 14 is probably gonna get in our way at some point. Not worried, but just be aware of it, right? Here's the tiller, so here's how I'm steering this 14. Basically a small, little keel fin in the back, little rudder, little rudder. I'm controlled here. This mainsail is controlled with this line here, and I have it locked right there. So if I need to adjust it, I'll pull up, unlock, and then and and trim it as I need. So right now, again, what I basically did was set course so you can get yourself enough space so you can make any turn or adjustment safely. And that's what we're doing. We're just using space, safely. There's no reason to crowd certain areas and stuff. Sometimes it tends to happen because certain areas get, the good wind, right? So people want to kind of stick around that good wind, and that's why you'll get some congestion. But for the most part, there's plenty of space for everybody to just have fun and haul around. As you can see over in that section over there, those guys are hauling, right? You got a jet ski, you got 2 Hobie cats, another one, like 4 Hobie cats. That one on the right coming from right to left is hauling, bro. So yeah, that's a little bit about winds, some of this wind stuff. And I just wanted to show you, like, even that string is important because it's a wind indicator. It'll tell you, what's going on. And obviously there's nothing now, right? But if I change wind direction, what will that do? Do we get more? Do we get less? I don't know. There it is, right? There it is. So, I gotta go. I'll go. Inhale, turn, undo, ready, and now. Four, take it in, turn, angle, 4, regular. So that was just a little bit of a speed roam. I just wanted to show you like what you can do when you catch that gust, right? So that was that. We got a little 14 up ahead also. Yeah, you see, like, there's that wind angle right there, and that's how you start learning, right? You know that when you get in this zone that far away from the hotel, you're gonna pick up this much wind for the most part, because I don't care how much wind's going. If it's blowing 20 knots and you're 20 yards offshore, you're not gonna catch anything. It's gonna bounce right over. And then we get into this kind of like dead zone right here in the middle. It's kind of like a little crosswind section, kind of weird. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get her going again, see what we can do. It's kind of scary because it's a 14, so she's not that big, and it just feels like you can kind of get her on her side, like really kind of too easy almost. So because I haven't been here out here too often or recently, I just want to dial in before I start risking the biscuit. You know what I mean? So let's try to get her going again. Expect me to trim that the jib up front, that little sail. I might need to float it a little bit, fill it up so that I can change direction. And then once I have some space and some course and I think I have like a wind tunnel, then I'll hit it, hopefully. There we go. Start sailing, her honking, turn, turn, test, okay, nothing, okay, nothing, okay, there we go, right there, nothing, right there, and test, right there, lean, fill up, okay, course, and start honking. Try to get her on her heel. Turn her off, turn her off. Turn her off. Oh. That 14, yo. Alright, we're gonna turn this real quick. So good now. Okay. Cruising, dog. Sick. Always pay attention, though. Always. Like, how would you ever hear that guy? You wouldn't. So you gotta keep your eyes on the horizon all times. Okay. Woo! Alright. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, right here. No. There, and there. Sweet spot. Got it? Lock it. Keep it there. Keep it full. Right there. Keep it full, okay? Keep there. Trim up. Then you can start kind of seeing if we can swing that momentum so she gets on her heel a bit. But this zone's a little bit weird, right? We've already held this angle before and we picked up more speed. But there it is, so we just gotta adjust a little bit. Come on. Ow. There you go. Yeah, look at that. Right there to that. See the difference? Boom. Right? Boom, keep it full. Hold that angle. Hold. Trim. Go. Trim. Round up. So I don't know if you can notice, but I got her on her side just now and she didn't want to hold it at all. I'm pulling tiller completely the opposite direction and she's just sliding right through it. It almost drifts through the turn. And that'll just be a limitation of this style of boat. So you just got to understand what you're working with. That's why I wanted to take out the 18 or 22 because they can handle more. They can take a little bit, more on. They hold that turn. When I keep it on its heel, she wants to keep going, and this one wants to give up. So, we just gotta work with it. Have fun still, whatever. And we have good wind right here. So I'm gonna turn in just a moment, and we're gonna see if unlock it right here, turn. Kayak right there, ready? Unlock. Hold tight. And set course, find your angle again. Trim, fine. Nothing. No. Reset. Boom. There it is. Lock, trim, funk. We're off. And that was a turn on a 14 Capri. Woo. It's beautiful out here, though. So yeah, I just really want to show you guys a little bit about that because I think you can see that sailing is gnarly, right? Obviously, you definitely need practice. You need access to the boats so you can practice. But you saw that it's only really you could operate this boat off one sail, right? The main. But that's kind of half power. If you need speed, you're probably gonna have to open that front one. But if you don't want it and you just want to chill, put the front sail away. And I don't want to. The 14 is too slow on the main sail alone. But if I wanted to, I'll show you. Oh, man, I'm exhausted. Hold on. So if I wanted to put that front sail away, you see a line coming off that bottom and that little hoop? I would grab that rope that leads basically right there. I'd pull that tight and it'll wind up that front sail. You just got to make sure that your locks aren't, taut so that the line can actually retract. And then once you get that front sail away, your top speed's gone. So now you're just gonna cruise. and then you just adjust your main as you need, and then you're just cruising. But if you haven't been able to tell already, the 14 doesn't really move fast. It's just kind of just like a chill, more training boat, if you will. I wouldn't take this thing out much. She doesn't have that shape to cruise. She's not a racer, and nor can she even hold the heel. So, 18, 22 at least. It's just more capable.